Okay, how is everyone doing in quarantine life, huh? Mm. My beverage of choice tonight is Gatorade lime cucumber with a splash of mint. Oh my gosh, the mint simple syrup. It's so delicious and refreshing. Mm. So, um, what I got on here to say is I was talking to my honey earlier. And I said, I just had this thought because I was recording with my girlfriend earlier, and she asked me. We've known each other for over 30 years, and she asked me a question about something like, like when I was like 18 years old, and it just opened up like this, just all of these things and stories that when she started specifically asking me, those questions like, you got pregnant at 19, what happened? And I started telling the story of what happened. And anyway, um, like all this stuff came back. Like, and it was just like, oh my gosh, I'm talking about when I'm talking about this to her and I'm hearing it and I'm thinking, freaking hookah, that was a 19-year-old girl, and the circumstances was I left home. I left Florida when I was 18. I left home. Here I am living in Ohio with my boyfriend, and I don't know hardly anyone that's not an hour and a half away. Two and a half hours away. Anyway, so that doesn't. Anyway, I'm like alone in this town, and I don't have a car, so that I don't just in this time. I'm just like this stuff that I was going through, and then what that whole experience was like, and having to go to the hospital, to the ER, and having being a 19-year-old kid and getting dropped off by yourself. Anyway, all this stuff started coming back, and I'm just like, I was 19, and then it was just the night before. It's a long story. Anyway, we recorded it. Somebody will hear it. You'll hear it. What it's just the point is it was just like minefield after minefield after minefield when I was telling the story, and I actually took a moment to feel as I'm saying that this happened. It's like, shit, that all really happened. And then you're telling the story and it's getting worse and worse, and then you're just thinking, oh my god, I can't imagine at 51 going like just that heartbreak and all that stuff, and I'm alone at 19, and it just I just felt so yucky after we hung up because I had spent like an hour telling the story that just kept going into and she would ask, yeah, okay, well, then what happened next? And it was just like, oh my gosh. And then just all of the crazy ass things that were going on. And I hung up and I walked upstairs to my husband and I said, I had all these things just came up out of nowhere that I haven't thought of in, it feels like 100 years, stories that I didn't want to tell, like I didn't, it was just not a fun time. So I just wanted to block them out. And I guess that's what I've been doing. And I just got caught off guard tonight. And then it just started coming out. And I actually felt, I started to feel like I was supposed to get sad over it, and you know like a heaviness because all that got it's almost like all that shit that affected me so much then, it's almost like my demons are going back in time, like just coming to screw with me some more about this. And it's almost like in my mind, I'm pausing because I really don't, I, I don't care anymore. So, you know, and it was like this flash came and said, it's not always bad to look on back on the past because you look at it like with a new perspective. And I thought that is so true because what I got out of all the stuff that I went through was that freaking hookah. I got through it. Like at 19, I navigated that and I'm still here today. And then, and then I think about all the and it was all this stuff was stuff that I was supposed to be ashamed of. Like just absolute shame. It was a part things happened where I was just humiliated in front of everyone that I knew and just it was just a uh, and I just think, "Oh my gosh, you got through that. You made it. You did it. You made different choices. You learned from that." And, and I just feel like our secrets are, God, that's what Carrie Fisher says, you're only as sick as your secrets, or we're as sick as our secrets, or, yeah, maybe. It just, and that's true, you know, those demons, that's where those demons hide, where, our secrets lie. I, uh, anyway, just, I saw for all those years how still not going back and looking at that sooner and getting that perspective that shit, you should be proud of yourself, girl, because you did that and you made it through. And that's how I came out. And I think if I would have gone back and thought of that, hopefully, that if sooner, how much different um, I would have felt if I would have gotten a hold of that. And anyway, it's just that I just feel like I shed shame and pulled a 180 on all of that and really got to see for the first time that I was somebody that I could be proud of. And that was pretty awesome. And I wanted to share that with you. So don't be afraid. I feel like, you know what, if the enemy has you in secrets, he's guarding it because he doesn't want you to go back and think about it and go, well, do I still feel that way? Or did I ever feel that way? Blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, this is your secret. You're saying, get away. You don't want to talk about this. You don't want to think about this. Da, 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 da. Because they're like, it it's theirs and they can feed off of it. And anyway, does that make any sense? It's like literally you don't come digging up stuff where you might find the truth. And they tell you the truth is going to hurt because it's going to hurt when you remember it. And you know what? That was the case tonight. Like it did, I got to feel every emotion, but it even just made me um, more proud of my 19-year-old self. And so in the end, it was worth it. And it's wrapped up in a little bow and it's done. And it's one less thing that the enemy has over me. Anyway, love you, sweets.